So let me get this right. You want to remake The Lord of the Rings?
No, sir. I want to make my own original Lord of the Rings show.
I see. Based off Tolfdir's Salmonellium, of course, and whatnot?
Yes, sir. 8 original episodes leading to the creation of the Rings of Power. I call it The Lords of the Rings.
Rings? Why, isn't there just one?
No, sir. There are many rings, and we see them all in this show.
All of the Rings of Power? Why, I can't wait. Please, tell me about the first episode.
Well, do you remember how Fellowship of the Rings started? Narration? Just like that.
Yes?
Well, we're gonna do that again here, except our narration will be dumb and vague. But it's gonna be so vague, it makes us look smarter than we are.
Oh, well, we are smarter than the audience, are we not?
Of course, sir. And Galadriel will start by saying, before there was a sunrise, there was light.
Oh, I love that line. But how?
Some big trees used to light up the world.
Oh, and then what happened?
Morgoth.
Who's that?
A big evil guy with a spiky helmet.
Ahaha, Sauron.
Morgoth.
Oh.
Galadriel continues to tell us that Morgoth was defeated. And then we cut to a shot, panning up, and we see a guy in a big spiky helmet.
Morgoth survived.
No. Sauron took his mantle.
Wait, so Sauron becomes the villain after Morgoth is defeated, right? So why are we introducing Morgoth at all? Won't the general audience feel a little overwhelmed by all this villainy?
Doesn't matter, sir. This show is for the true fans.
Oh, so the show is for book fans only. You must be quite versed in them then.
There are books? I thought it was just the movies.
Phenomenal movies.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Then we see Galadriel overcoming some bigger, larger boys, proving that she has always been the strongest and that absolutely nobody likes her.
Oh, but if she's our main character, shouldn't we make her likable?
Nah.
Oh.
Now, I don't really know how to fill up more time here, so I just thought we could have some characters say some really lofty and large, kind of grandiose lines of dialogue without much expression behind their faces. I think that's a good way to get the message across.
I have an idea. What if we put in a big battle with dragons and eagles, you know, the ones from the original movies?
Yes, sir. That's great. But then, Galadriel's brother dies, and Galadriel is mourning his loss, and he has a big sort of scar mark on his chest. And Galadriel believes this to be the mark of Sauron.
Oh, is this mark the Eye of Sauron?
Could be, but we'll never know.
But why would anybody doubt Sauron survives, when you just told me he gathered Morgoth's forces and now leads his army?
Hey, shut up. You're not supposed to think about it.
Oh, I guess one plot hole every episode is okay.
I'm only on page 10, sir.
Holy shit!
Now we follow Galadriel's fellowship.
I see what you did there.
And one of the elves falls over, and everyone calls out to Galadriel, stop. But she says, no, we must keep moving, when she could easily just stop and go and help the guy up.
Oh, you're really making her unlikable, aren't you? Well, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for you.
And then they find an evil lair, and they say their torches give off no heat because the place is so evil.
Physics.
Galadriel punches an ice wall, punches straight through it, and she finds another mark of Sauron. She uses the Fellowship's last bit of water to reveal the mark.
That was very considerate of her.
Then a snow troll attacks, and we can have a scene just like we did in the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, I love it. That was such a difficult fight for them. There were so many characters involved too. A wizard, a king, a warrior, a dwarf, an elf, and 4 hobbits.
And then Galadriel, she does a flip and takes it out in seconds, without even looking at it, without even sweating.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. So many young girls are gonna watch this show, and we just need to remind them, all of them, how strong and flawless they are.
Oh. 2022!
2022! But then, her fellowship dropped their swords in mutiny.
They dropped their swords? Weren't they just attacked? Why would you drop your sword?
Because that's what I wrote.
Fair enough.
And then we get a title card.
Wow. That sounds like a very action-packed first episode.
Sir, I'm only on page 18.
Bairu Iluvatar.
Now we introduce the Harfoots.
And who are they?
Remember hobbits?
Yes?
Well, they're hobbits, but dirtier and meaner.
And what do they do?
Well, they exist.
And what do they do for the plot?
Well, I mean, you can't make a Lord of the Rings show without little people.
But in the Salmonellium,
The what?
Did I just have a stroke?
Now, I was thinking we have the Harfoots act like first-time theater students in their first rehearsal. You know, lots of lines of dialogue, lots of big movements, but no truth or sincerity behind the eyes.
Great.
And of course, we have two main hobbits, Harfoots, Frodina and Samantha.
Where have I heard that be? Oh!
You get it. You get it.
Maybe a little too on the nose, do you think?
Right, I'll fix that.
Great.
But they're being hunted by some wolves.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. And so we leave that plot line behind for now.
Oh.
And Galadriel returns to Lindon, and we meet Elrond.
I love Hugo Weaving.
We will have to recast, sir.
Wait. I've been imagining Kate Blanchett as Galadriel. Are we going to have to recast her too?
Yes.
Surely we will cast somebody with enough presence and as strong-willed as Kate Blanchett.
Of course, sir.
Phenomenal.
But Elrond and Galadriel, they speak, and they go back and forth between English and Elvish for no reason.
Why?
Bad writing.
Great.
For the next 20 minutes, we learn that Galadriel was devoted to her brother's mission.
And?
And? Sir?
What else do we learn?
Oh. That's it, sir.
Kind of a shallow character, don't you think?
Well, no, because she wants to get revenge for her brother.
And who was her brother again? For her motivation to be this strong, we really must have grown attached to him.
No.
Oh.
Now, the Harfoots, we learn that Frodina, she has a wild spirit. She wants to see the world, go outside of the village, see what's happening. She talks about the Southlands and men in their fields, and her mother wants nothing to do with it. She tells her to control herself. Her father is the same. She wants to see the world, and nobody wants to hear it. It's really emotional. You really get attached to her. And, sir, did you hear any of that, sir?
Yeah, great.
We see some fireworks.
Oh, just like the Fellowship of the Ring.
You got me, sir. Again.
It's almost like you suck at this.
Haha, good one, sir. But Galadriel and Elrond talk again, and we learn that she wants revenge for her brother.
Oh, I think you're reading the wrong part again. You already told me this.
No, sir, this is later in the episode.
Oh,
And
I love it.
this is Galadriel's big moment.
We better make sure to get the performance just right.
I'm sure we will, sir.
Oh, I beg your pardon, I'm starting to get quite weary. There mustn't be too much longer to go.
The Southlands.
The what?
The Southlands.
What are they?
It's a village with 30 people in it.
Oh, and what's happening there?
Well, we meet Armalas, and he's patrolling the village because 1,000 years ago, the men living here sided with Morgoth.
Seems a little unfair.
And then we meet Bronwyn.
Who's that?
It's Bronwyn.
Great!
And then we meet her son, Theo.
What's he like?
Well, he's a racist teenager with a bad accent and an even worse haircut.
Can I just say that your knack for writing compelling characters is inspiring?
Thank you, sir. After this, we learn that Armalas and Bronwyn have a secret relationship.
Oh, and I bet their chemistry just bleeds off the screen.
Of course, sir. And then Theo, he finds a sword with the Eye of Sauron on it.
Where did he find this?
In a barn!
How exciting!
And then we introduce Celebrimbor.
Killer who?
Don't worry about it. He's no one. Now Galadriel has been sent to live in the Undying Lands.
Where are they?
Thousands of miles across the ocean. And they stand there, holding their great swords while wearing armor the whole time.
Wouldn't a journey like that take some time?
I don't know.
Then why do they need to stand there in guard the whole journey?
Because this is a big moment.
Is it?
Galadriel, she jumps off the ship, back into the ocean, to swim back to Middle-earth.
Galadriel swims. Across the ocean?
That's right, sir.
Have you ever seen a map of this ocean before?
What's a map?
Never mind.
Now a comet lands right next to the Harfoots, and there's a naked man inside the crater.
Wow, a naked man. Well, maybe not naked. Kids will be watching.
Okay, he can wear a loincloth.
That's better. And who is this?
Aha, sir, you will have to wait.
Oh!
And the final shot looks down on the crater, and it looks like the eye of Sauron. Bang! Cut to credits.
Wow.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah. Although I've kind of forgotten what happened. Remind me.
Well, Galadriel wants to find Sauron.
Yes?
Armalas milked a cow.
Yes?
And the Comet Man landed for Frodina to find.
Yes?
That's it.
Feels like we could have accomplished this in 15 minutes.
No, sir, don't be ridiculous. There isn't much history here in the book, so we gotta fill it out somehow.
I suppose you're right. Tolfdir only wrote 3 books and they weren't based on this time period.
That's right, sir.
I don't know about the name though.
Rings of the Lords?
Might be confusing. What about the Rings of Power?
Oh, sir. Oh, sir, that's great. No wonder you're the boss.
Well,
And one last thing, sir. The budget.
Oh, yes, of course. How much do you think you'll need?
Well, I was thinking $1 billion for the season.
Whoop! I just wanted to say I'm sorry for losing my cool last week concerning the budget.
It's okay, sir. Really.
Oh, great. Well, I suppose you better now tell me about the rest of the season and exactly where all my money will be going, yes?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now, tell me about episode 2.
Well, we're going to start where we left off. And Galadriel is still swimming.
Oh, she is a trooper.
And Frodina and Samantha are bickering over whether or not they should save the Comet Man.
Hold on, now why are they bickering? Wouldn't any normal human be happy to help another human in need?
These are Harfoots, sir, not normal people.
Oh. Well, I'm assuming they're treating the situation very seriously. It's not every day a man in a comet falls right next to you.
No.
Oh.
Instead, they treat it like a stray dog they found one afternoon. Sir, humor is a great way to make characters relatable.
You know what else is a great tool?
What?
Compassion.
Sir, they didn't have compasses back then. Now, Armalas and Bronwyn are investigating a nearby town, and they discover nobody's left in town, and it's been destroyed.
Scary.
And Armalas decides to go inside the hole.
Oh, we cannot show any of that. Not in a Lord of the Rings property. No, that's a little inappropriate for the children.
Sir, let me finish. He decides to go in the hole underneath the house and see where it leads to.
Oh!
So Armalas leaves Bronwyn to follow it.
Oh, plot progression. I love it.
And Celebrimbor unveils a plan to build the biggest forge ever seen.
Why?
You will have to wait, sir.
What's that?
Oh, JJ let me borrow it.
Who?
JJ, the director of The Rise of Skywalker.
Give me that.
So Elrond and Celebrimbor have a quick stroll to Khazad-dûm.
A stroll?
Yeah, I saw on a map. It's only like a fingertip away.
You do realize that the scale of such a journey is significantly longer in real life.
Really? So they arrive at Khazad-dûm.
Great.
And Elrond invokes the right to Sigyn Tarag.
What's that?
It's a competition to see who can break the most rocks with a hammer.
Seems like a very primitive way for two highly sophisticated societies to settle their differences.
Bang, bang, smashy, smashy.
Oh, bang, bang, smashy, smashy. Yes.
So the competition goes for a really long time, and the dwarves, they keep bringing in more and more rocks to smash.
Wait, is this a common occurrence here? Even Celebrimbor didn't know what Sigyn Tarag was. Are you telling me the dwarves just have all these spare rocks just waiting and ready to go in case an elf comes by and declares Sigyn Tarag any time of the day?
And then we cut to the Harfoots. Sir?
I mean, great.
And the Comet Man is drawing a strange symbol.
What symbol?
Well, Sir, can I have my box back? You're gonna have to wait, sir.
Oh, you.
Frodina's father breaks his ankle.
How?
Contrived events.
Great!
And Galadriel comes across a raft.
And how is she dealing with hypothermia, dehydration, and exhaustion?
Stop making up words, sir. I'm not falling for it. No. I'm not gonna fall for it.
Oh.
But Galadriel's first instinct is to kill her saviors.
I hate her so much.
And now the survivors are attacked by the worm.
The worm?
A big sea creature. It destroys the raft.
I see. Using the budget on spectacle that doesn't move the plot forward. I respect your balls.
And we meet Halbrand.
Why did you sound so sinister when you said his name?
Did I?
Yes.
Really?
Wait. Is he...
Elrond forfeits the match. And Durin approaches him and says, "A dog may bark at the moon, but it cannot bring it down."
Am I paying you to write these lines?
Durin confronts Elrond for missing 20 years of friendship, missing his marriage, missing the birth of his children. It's a really touching moment.
Wait, stop. Your writing is a little too good here. You might want to tone it down a little bit. We don't want to give the fans too much of this or they might get used to it.
And then we meet Durin's wife, Disa, and we get more charismatic acting and fun dialogue here.
No, stop. Stop with the good writing. Go back to Galadriel.
We learn that Halbrand was chased from his home by orcs.
And where's he from?
And we see that he wears a sigil on his neck.
What is the sigil?
Halbrand returns the question to Galadriel and asks her why she is stranded.
You haven't even told us why he is stranded there.
Bezos is our lord. Bezos is our king.
Bezos is our lord. Bezos is our king. Phenomenal storytelling. What's next?
Armalas is kidnapped.
Oh no!
Bronwyn finds an orc in her home.
Oh no!
And then she finds that there's tunnels under her house.
Oh no!
Theo hides in a pantry from the orc.
Why didn't he just run away?
Because, sir, he's a moron.
Great!
The orc attacks Bronwyn, but she decapitates it to show her people.
She decapitates it? Well, that's very violent of her.
Very strong of her. Strong.
She's a strong woman. Yes, you're right.
Galadriel and Halbrand, they survive a storm.
Why?
Well, each episode needs to be about an hour long, and we need to find a reason to waste more of that budget.
Waste?
Use some of that budget.
Yes.
The Harfoots.
Not again.
The dwarves.
Oh, yes.
We meet Durin's father, Durin.
Oh, there's two Durins. Well, I know the book fans won't like this.
Isn't it just a name?
Well, in the books,
Durin's father tells him, "You've always had sandstone in your granite, as far as the elves are concerned." And we see that Durin's father keeps a mystery box.
Oh, you're very clever, aren't you?
Theo touches his longsword.
Inappropriate!
No, sir, his longsword. The one he found last episode.
Oh!
And when his blood touches the sword, it reignites.
Oh!
So Theo and Bronwyn leave town.
What about the sword? I have questions.
And Galadriel and Halbrand come across a mysterious ship.
Who is it?
Cut to credits. Sir, I'm trying to be humble here, so you don't have to tell me how good it was.
Well, are we going to get answers to all the questions you're igniting in the audience?
Yes, I promise.
When? I said when! When, damn you! Bezos is our lord. Bezos is our king. Bezos is our lord. Bezos is our king. Oh, yes. Oh, just a little bit more. Yes.
Sir, are you drinking?
No, I'm medicating.
Oh.
That's my line. Barbara from HR is coming in today.
Not Barbara.
So be on your guard. She is a fouler and older creature than most.
If I tell you about episode 3, will that cheer you up?
No.
We start off, and Armalas is a prisoner.
Where?
An orc camp. They've kidnapped all his friends.
But how? I thought the elves were meant to be the authority in the area. Why, this would be like heroin addicts kidnapping a whole platoon of police officers.
It happened off camera, so it doesn't matter.
That's genius.
Now Galadriel wakes up on a ship, and she wakes up really refreshed. There's no signs of exhaustion, rash, or sunburn. We meet the ship's captain, and Galadriel asks what port do we sail to.
And?
He says, see for yourself.
And?
Then Halbrand repeats the question.
And?
To which the captain says, home.
Is he trying to be a mysterious dickhead?
No, sir. This is how you engage the audience. Remember?
I could have been a banker, a successful one, but here I am dealing with this shit.
We are taken to Numenor.
Numenor? The greatest civilization of men ever?
The very same, sir. And they hate elves.
I mean, who doesn't? That Galadriel... I hate her too.
Galadriel is brought amongst the queen and a royal audience, and she wastes no time in insulting the entire culture in an attempt to get a ship off them and travel back to Middle-earth.
How old is Galadriel meant to be?
In the Second Age, sir? Well, she's at least 5,000 years old.
Are you telling me in all that time she never learned manners or how to speak to royalty? She reeks of elven privilege.
And then we learn that the captain's name is Elendil.
Okay.
And his son is Isildur.
Isildur. Isildur! The man who cut the ring from Sauron's hand himself. Why? Well, we must cast a real man's man in the role, yes?
I was thinking of the kid from Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Whatever you say.
Now, sir, I want you to repeat after me. The sea is always right.
The sea is always right.
This is the Numenorian way of life. Their motto, their creed. A prayer they say to the sea.
Why tell me, my dear boy, what the fuck does that even mean?
Oh, swearing in the office. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Oh. Hello, Barbara.
Barb?
It's Barbara. Now, how's the meeting going?
We are having a jolly time.
I was just about to introduce Isildur's brother, Anarion.
Brother? No, make it a sister. We need more women in the show.
Barbara, I don't think you quite understand the importance of Isildur and Anarion in the story. They come to develop quite a few important landmarks in Middle-earth after the story. We need two brothers.
Two? many men, I've decided it will be a sister. Goodbye.
Do as she says, please, I beg you.
Okay. We'll make the fans unhappy. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give them a couple reasons to be happy. Boobs.
Oh my.
Elendil is confronted by Miriel for bringing Galadriel to Numenor.
He's been punished for saving a life. You must tell me how you make all these characters so likable.
Elendil justifies his decisions by saying, the sea is always right.
You know, I was once stung by a jellyfish on the testicle. Was the sea right then?
Yes.
Great!
Armalas and his friends, they're digging a trench for the orcs.
Why?
Because the orcs can't go into the sun, sir.
But haven't the orcs already dug tunnels under half the country? Why are they kidnapping people now?
What else am I supposed to have Armalas do?
Good point.
So the elves are digging with very large picks and axes.
Now why would you give a race of highly developed warriors tools and weapons that can be easily used against you?
And when the elves refuse to cut down a tree, one of them is murdered.
Oh no! I was so invested in his character.
And the orcs have a good old laugh about this. In fact, they laugh so hard, they forget they're in the sun.
And the Razzie for worst writing goes to...
Elendil offers Galadriel a good ride.
Oh, 50 Shades of Numenor.
On horseback, sir. And we get an extended scene of Galadriel riding in slow motion.
How embarrassing.
Halbrand is on the quest for a guild crest to become a blacksmith.
A smith. Why?
To forge.
To forge? To forge like the rings of power? Is he...
Halbrand buys everybody drinks.
With what money?
And then he violently assaults 4 men while drunk.
Such a dark lord.
Galadriel realizes that the mark she's been following is not a mark at all, but a map of the Southlands.
Sauron left a mark on her brother's chest. Why?
Now repeat after me, sir. Nobody goes off trail, and nobody walks alone. Nobody goes off trail, and nobody walks alone. Nobody goes off trail, and nobody walks alone.
Nobody goes off trail, and nobody walks alone.
Nobody goes off trail, and nobody walks alone. Nobody goes off trail, and nobody walks alone.
Oh, will you shut up?
Halbrand is imprisoned.
Yep.
The Comet Man pushes a cart.
Cool.
The elves attempt an escape.
Okay.
Come on, sir. This is exciting. Remember wargs?
Yes?
An orc releases one, and we get a great battle.
Wow.
Armalas's friend is shot with 2 arrows in the chest, and he dies instantly.
2 arrows? Well, now that you've set this precedent, you must stick to it in future episodes. It would be very, very stupid if somebody else were to survive 2 arrows to the torso, especially someone smaller and weaker. Oh, say Bronwyn, she comes to mind first, yes?
Hello there. My name is Michael. I run the channel. I interrupt this episode of The Writer's Room to inform you, the audience, that the writers did in fact break this precedent. Bronwyn does survive 2 arrows to the chest in episode 6. I'll be sure to, sir.
Great!
Armalas is kept alive.
Why? He just started an uprising. Kill him!
He's taken to Adar.
Who's that?
Cut to credits. Imagine, sir, you cut to credits there. People will be so hyped to wait 1 week to find out what's next.
Now you must let me know if I'm wrong, but We are 3 hours in, right? What's happened?
Sir, this is a slow build. Give it time.
Do you promise me there will be payoff in the end?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Yes.
Well, I trust you, good man. Drink to that.
Oh, sorry, sir. I accidentally skipped 12 pages. Let me tell you about the Harfoots.
No! I can't believe we're already at episode 4. Why, I can barely contain myself. There must be so much happening in this episode.
Haha, yeah, so much.
So, tell me about episode 4, my good lad.
Well, we start with Muriel cuddling a baby.
Oh!
And then a great wave crashes over the mountains.
Wow, she must be scared.
No, she's still modeling.
Oh!
It's a dream sequence.
Oh, a dream sequence. They are never criticized, no.
Out in the streets, the men of Numenor are rallying against Galadriel. They say she's taking their jobs.
What?
And these white men, Numenorians, are angry. Because she is a nasty woman.
Galadriel has been on Numenor for 1 day, and the Numenorians are complaining about elves taking their jobs. Is this some sort of half-assed attempt at social commentary, or are the Numenorians just stupid?
But then, Al Capone says, no elves are ever gonna take Numenorian jobs. And he says, drinks all around. And he has serving girls ready to go to deliver wine glasses.
So do these serving girls just follow Al Capone around waiting for him to give away free drinks?
Galadriel attempts to recruit Muriel into her quest of returning to the Southlands and reinstating Halbrand as king.
Halbrand is a king.
Well, yes, because he had that sigil on his neck, remember?
And that makes you the unquestioned heir to the throne?
Yes.
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones? Or Richard III? Or read real history? I think there's more to it than that.
There is a tempest in me.
What are you doing?
This is what Galadriel shouts at Muriel.
She shouts at the queen?
Yes. And she's arrested.
Fair.
Isildur drops the rope on his ship, and he gets his friends and himself kicked out of the Sea Guard.
Well, the sea is always right.
That's just stupid.
That's what you told me last episode.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, what a line.
Yes.
We meet Adar.
Who's that?
A dark elf.
No need for racism here.
No, sir, he's dark. Evil. Leader of the orcs.
Oh!
Adar speaks to Armalas in Elvish, and then switches to English.
Why?
The illusion that we know what we're doing.
Oh!
Adar releases Armalas, and tells him to return to the watchtower to deliver a message.
What message?
You're gonna have to wait, sir.
I hate it when you do that.
And then we catch up with Bronwyn.
Who?
And her people are out of food. So Theo volunteers to go back to the village to get more.
They just arrived and they've already run out of rations. What, did they not pack any? Are they stupid?
Theo's friend ditches him. Cunt. And Theo is attacked by an orc.
Oh no!
He reveals the hilt. And we find out the orcs are searching for it.
Why?
Celebrimbor's forge is almost built.
Oh, that was quick. How much time has passed?
I don't know. A little bit.
So Elrond has almost achieved his mission. United elves and dwarves and almost built the biggest forge ever. And you're telling me Galadriel has only gone for a swim and insulted a queen? I don't know, the timeline feels off.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that.
You can't say that. People will accuse us of plagiarism.
Oh, right. We are original.
Yes.
We learn that Durin has discovered a new ore.
Is it Mithril?
It is.
Yes?
It's
What is it?
Mithril.
Yes, I knew that. Why do you waste my time making it out that I don't know what it already is?
Tits McGee is flirting with a generic white man,
Okay.
and Sauron details to Galadriel, the best way of conquering a person's fear is giving them a means to control it.
Sauron?
Halbrand! Halbrand!
No, that's not what you said. Is he...
Galadriel easily over-encumbers 4 armed guards and locks them in her cell.
How did she do that?
Off screen!
You've done that a few times now. I used to think you were very clever, but now I'm just thinking you're lazy.
Galadriel breaks and enters into the king's quarters,
She is the worst.
and Queen Muriel is waiting with that same stupid look on her face.
What look?
The kind of look on someone's face when they're just smelling a fresh fart.
Great!
Galadriel touches one of the king's balls,
Ew.
and she sees a vision of Numenor being flooded.
Why did Muriel show her this?
As justification for her people not going to war.
If I was Muriel, I would execute Galadriel in her sleep. I think the world would be a better place without her.
Theo escapes the orcs by running right past them.
Why doesn't this dickhead just run out of town and go around? Is he fucking completely useless?
Yes, and he's captured, but then saved by Armorlass.
So the enemy released him just to hinder their own plans. Clever.
Theo and Armorlass are running through the woods. The orcs are raining arrows. It's really dramatic.
Oh no!
For some reason, Bronwyn is there too.
Who?
And they escape into the sunlight, which the orcs cannot go into. So they stand there while the orcs just scream at them.
Were they just not firing arrows a minute ago? Shoot them!
The orcs retreat.
Pathetic.
Durin tells Durin to follow Elrond and spy on the elves.
Ooh.
Armorlass tells Bronwyn she must surrender to the orcs or die.
Who?
And Theo is confronted by the local pedo.
Oh.
He touches Theo.
Oh.
Turns out, the pedo is a Sauron supporter.
Evil. Evil.
Galadriel is put on a ship back to Middle-earth.
Ah, exactly what she wanted.
No. She wanted an army.
But before she jumped off her ship in episode 1, she had not expected to have the Numenorian army, nor did she know about the Southlands. So why have her motivations changed so much? For no reason. I'm starting to think you are the worst writer I have ever met.
Then, the petals of the queen's tree begin to fall.
She's one of those crazy tree ladies, is she?
This must mean Numenor has to go to war.
So just like that, she's going to war.
Just like that. And Elendil puts it out to the citizens. Who wants to join the Queen's Guard?
She doesn't have a trained elite royal guard already?
Cut to credits. What do you think?
It just feels like every character is making stupid decisions in the interest of making the episodes longer. I must admit I find it quite vexing.
I have to admit, sir, I was expecting congratulations.
Why?
No Harfoots.
Oh my! I didn't even think about the dirty little fuckers. Well done!
But don't you worry, sir. They'll be back next week.
Oh, I can't wait. Where did I put that cocaine? Look, I'm not in a good mood today. My wife is leaving me. I apologize if I'm a little snappy.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Are you okay?
I don't know. Maybe you can help me. What have you brought me today?
Episode 5, sir.
Episode 5? Of what?
The Rings of Power.
Oh. All right then.
As promised, sir, we start with the Harfoots. Oh, for fuck's sake. And the Comet Man is learning how to speak. How? Well, Frodina is speaking, and he is learning. I'm sure there's more to learning than that. He asks what a peril is. And she goes on to say that a peril is something that makes other things dead. So explaining one word he doesn't understand by using numerous words he doesn't understand. I'm not sure about your logic. Samantha sings a song. Oh, she's so talented. So talented. She's like a modern day pop star with vocal pitch technology and rhythm. Oh, so nothing like the folkish chants and songs of the hobbits of the Shire? No, sir. You know what I think of her song? What, sir? Fuck her song. And now we are introduced to 3 mysterious beings. Oh. Sorry, I have to get this. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just in a meeting with Fuckwit McDonald. What are you wearing? oh, yes. Well, I will see you later. Bye-bye now. Sir, what was that ringtone? Oh, Arse Like That by Eminem. Yes. Great song. Phenomenal song. Why do you ask? It gives me an idea. So tell me, what has become of the unwashed, overrepresented people of the Southlands? Well, you must have read my mind, sir, because Bronwyn gives a speech. Who? Bronwyn, Armalass's girlfriend. Oh, she's such a strong character. And female. Yes, strong female character. Oh, they're so hot right now. The pedo asked Theo to come with him. Oh. And he leads half the townsfolk away, leaving the watchtower severely weakened. Well, it's a good thing they're in an elven stronghold. They should easily be able to withhold a siege. Yes. What is it? No. You're not going to have them leave the stronghold, are you? Numenor is divided. Who cares? And Galadriel basically forces Halbrand to go to war and reclaim the crown of the Southlands. All without his consent. Well, it is 2022. Who cares about what white men want? Exactly, sir. But he still refuses, wishing to live a peaceful life on Numenor. Oh, he's such an asshole. Doesn't he know Galadriel is the main character? I'm sure he will come through. But before he does, sir, remember the wolves that were stalking the Harfoots? No. Back in episode 1, we set this up. Oh, the creature I saw sniffing the ground 4 hours ago. Why, how could I forget? Well, they finally attack. Oh, this is such good writing. I'm so invested. And the Comet Man saves them with some mysterious, vague magic. I love it. Then we watch Elendil training soldiers in a small town alley. A small alley? Why, doesn't the greatest civilization of men of all time have a training yard? Sir, we only have a TV show budget here. I gave you $1 billion. Oh, right, yes, well, it's a very well-lit alley. Better! And Galadriel teaches them how to kill an orc. I didn't realize it was that hard to kill an orc, considering Bronwyn just decapitated one. I mean, surely the great men of Numenor know how to kill. She tells them to stab and twist. Now that is something I'm sure they never would have thought of, yes. And we get a great contest. Who can score flesh off Galadriel in combat? Humiliating soldiers who are about to go to war. A classic in the art of war. Galadriel destroys a few market stalls in her braggadocious fighting. What a bitch! Halbrand does a trick with his foot, revealing a deafness with weaponry. Classic Dark Lord. So the Comet Man hurt himself, saving Frodina. And he's healing himself now. How does he know to heal himself when he doesn't even know how to speak or remember who he is? Don't think about that, sir, because while he's healing himself, Frodina touches him and she gets hurt herself. Stupid girl. And she runs away in fear. and the music gets very dark, making us think the Comet Man is evil.
Okay, cut the shit. He's a wizard, isn't he? I'm not falling for it.
Gosh, you're good, sir. I wish I was as smart as you.
Oh, believe me, my boy. I wish a lot more people were as smart as I.
Durin confronts Gil-galad, saying the stone they're dining on is sacred and only grows at certain depths.
The stone grows. Surely he meant to say it forms. A dwarf would surely know stones don't grow.
Same thing, sir. And Elrond confronts Gil-galad, but he's stopped, forced to recite the myth of how Mithril was created.
I didn't realize it needed an explanation.
An elf put his light into the tree, and a Balrog put his darkness into the same tree. Then, at that same time, lightning struck the tree, and boom! Mithril.
You are a shit writer.
Gil-galad reveals the light of the elves is fading, decaying.
Oh no!
And this is why Gil-galad needs Mithril to save the elves.
How? Oh!
What was that for?
That was for the fans!
The who?
Oh!
Tits McGee's boyfriend blows up a ship.
Who?
And Isildur saves him, earning favor back from his father.
Are we ever going to leave this fucking island?
Celebrimbor says the elves need to be saturated in Mithril in order to survive.
Saturated? Well, please tell me what you mean by saturated. Mithril armor worn at all times? Mithril underwear? Mithril lace cocaine?
Do you really think I have the answers? Galadriel says she cannot stop fighting.
Is that her only motivation?
Yep.
Wow! She has the depth of a dwarven condom!
But she finally gets through to Halbrand. And the next day, he decides to go to war.
Arise! Arise, soldiers of Sauron!
Theo and Armorlass have a touching moment.
Stop it! Stop! No more good writing! Stop! I'm having a stroke! Stop!
Theo reveals the hilt.
I said enough! Enough of the good writing! Stop! Stop it!
And we see a shrine to Sauron that is activated by the hilt. It's a key. Armorlass confronts Bronwyn, and he actually stands up for the people, the men he's come to care for.
Please, my boy, stop. I can't take it. No more character progression. No more plot progression. Go back. Go back to the shit writing, please.
Okay. The elves walk Durin's new table back to Khazad-dûm.
They walk from Lindon to Khazad-dûm, a journey of hundreds of miles on foot. Good! This is the writing I like!
Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
Oh my. Well, I didn't know you were interested in that way.
No, sir, no. This is what Durin says to Elrond, and Elrond spills the beans, that the elves need Mithril.
Oh, I bet Durin is pissed.
No, he's happy to help.
Oh!
And finally, Numenor is going to war.
Isn't this what happened at the end of the last episode?
Well, not actually. They're finally leaving now.
This episode, it's just felt like one big circle. I'm quite dizzy. Cocaine, yes.
Oh! Isildur is a part of the army.
Great!
Galadriel walks in slow motion.
Woohoo!
And the 3 tiny ships with 500 men and as many horses ride off into the sunrise.
Oh yeah, baby! Now tell me, what about my favorite storyline? What of the Harfoots? Frodina? Is the Comet Man Sauron? I need to know!
Sir, I thought you hated that storyline. Are you high?
Yeah! Okay, here's the deal. I am sick to death of your bullshit and this bullshit writing. You have one opportunity to win me over again, and I will not let you go easily.
I'm not concerned, sir. Remember the Peter Jackson movies?
Yes?
Remember how they're known for big, massive battles?
Yes?
Well, it's our turn for battle!
Oh. Well, I'm nervous. So far, you have proven to be totally incompetent, but I'll give you a chance.
Sarcasm.
No! It's not a joke, you are shit.
We start with Adar giving a speech to his children.
Ooh, daddy.
And Adar leads the army right up to the watchtower, right to the front gates.
Adar himself walks undefended up to the front gate of an enemy stronghold. Why, this would be like Vladimir Putin walking into the Ukraine to storm a small village. You see, it makes no fucking sense.
But nobody is in the stronghold. We reveal it's been abandoned.
But Adar doesn't know that.
Surprise, motherfucker. Armalas sneak attacks. He kills a few orcs, and then he shoots an arrow at the watchtower, shooting a rope, and it comes loose. Dropping every stone, the watchtower falls, killing every orc in sight.
I have an idea. Let's play a game. I'll take a shot every time you say something that sounds completely ridiculous, and you lose $10,000 off your contract. Let's start now.
Isildur awakens early, and we cut to him having a conversation with Galadriel, and she's still wearing her armor.
I'm not even going to go into why. That is so dumb. Like the length of the journey, or the fact that no one else is wearing armor. Instead of explaining to you why you suck, I think I'll just take this delicious shot of wild turkey. Cheers!
Isildur is very embarrassed to be a stable sweep,
As he should be.
and Galadriel tells him that humility has saved entire kingdoms.
Galadriel said this.
Armalas is trying to destroy the hilt. He's hammering away at it, but he says it is beyond our skill to destroy.
I get it. Elrond reference, Fellowship of the Ring. You're not clever. Are you going to explain why we cannot destroy the hilt? Or are you just going to keep it vague so you can have that remember me moment?
Bronwyn gives another speech.
Who?
And despite the fact that Bronwyn always looks like she's on the verge of tears and looks like she could barely pick up a sack of grain, she's the one leading the unwashed men of the Southlands into battle.
Strength and experience is not something needed in a military commander anyway.
Theo asks his mother if she remembers what she used to tell him when he had bad dreams as a child. And he asks her to repeat it to him now.
Why does every character have to go about their dialogue in this big jerk off, ooh, look at me, look how intellectual my dialogue is kind of way? Why cannot Theo just say to his mother, help me mother, I am scared? Cut the vanity out of your writing and maybe these characters would be, dare I say, relatable?
In the end, this shadow is but a small and passing thing. There is light.
Stop right there! I will not let you use Tolkien's words directly. No!
Okay, it's time!
Oh yes, let's battle!
The town is silent, not a peep. But then Armalas spots the torches of the orcs crossing the countryside.
They have their torches lit. Are they trying to give away their position? And also, they're orcs! They don't need a source of light!
Bronwyn fails to light one of the traps, getting her friend killed.
Oh no!
And she screams out loud before having a sword fight with this orc. She ends up killing it, then lights the trap, all without alerting the other orcs that are only 20 yards away.
You know what I've realized? You say a lot of dumb things. Why, I probably will not be able to stand up if I keep shooting this delicious wild turkey. So instead of doing that, I'll just have a sip of this so smoky, so cold and delicious Jim Beam double serve.
But their plan has worked. They've cornered all 30 of the orcs in the town center, and now the men of the Southlands are firing on them.
Does anybody question the number of orcs? Surely no one thinks such a small number makes up the entire army.
But no time to think about that, sir, because Armorlass is pulled from the roof, and now we have a WWE SmackDown with a big orc.
Oh, did the big man forget his sword? What a fucking idiot.
And I thought we could make this scene look like it was captured in one big long take. So what we're gonna need to do is get the actors to slowly and very awkwardly hit their marks, just so we can get the camera in position at the right time. And what we're gonna do is get the camera so close to their bodies that we can awkwardly cut to the next scene, and then we can pinch it all together to make it look like one shot.
If we cannot do this in one take, then why are we trying to make it look like we are?
The orc is choking Armorlass, and he gets it all over his face.
Ooh, kinky.
Bronwyn saves him.
Strong, female, check.
And the battle is over.
Already?
Yes, sir. But there's a twist. All of the orcs they just killed, we reveal, were actually the men of the village that turned on them.
And they're surprised by this? Usually when someone joins the opposing side of war, naturally, you're going to fight them.
And while they are mourning the loss, the rest of Adar's forces attack.
If only they were in a stronghold with towering walls and only one entrance.
Bronwyn is shot in the torso.
She will be missed.
Oh no, sir. She is far from dead. She is very much alive.
Do you remember when Armorlass's friend was shot and he died instantly?
No.
Let me help you remember.
Armorlass's friend is shot with 2 arrows in the chest, and he dies instantly.
2 arrows? Well, now that you've set this precedent, you must stick to it in future episodes. It would be very, very stupid if somebody else were to survive 2 arrows to the torso, especially someone smaller and weaker. Oh, say Bronwyn, she comes to mind first, yes?
Oh, right. Well, we're gonna let her live, just to show what a strong, defiant character she is.
She has no character! She's the most generic, boring character in the entire show! And that's really saying something!
She tells Theo they need to stop the bleeding.
But with the arrow inside her, it would be stopping most of the bleeding. I am no doctor, but I'm pretty sure I know this. Isn't Bronwyn a healer herself?
So they remove the arrow with ease, and she starts bleeding profusely.
Obviously.
But it's okay. Armorlass has some oats with him, and he plants it inside the wound and then gets a little hot stick to burn it. And just like that, she's fine.
It's too bad Legolas didn't have any oats with him when Boromir was dying.
It's morning now, sir, and the Númenóreans have made land. In fact, they are sprinting on their horses to the small village to save them.
Stop! There is so much wrong with what you just said. Are you telling me it's morning already? Are you telling me the orcs waited till almost dawn before they launched their attack? And the Númenóreans? How do they know where they're going? How could they possibly know where they're going? What is the Southlands? Is the Southlands just one village? How do they know to go to this one village? How do they know it's under attack? What's with the urgency? How come they're sprinting on their horses? How long is the journey? The horses will surely be dead before they get there. You can't just sprint on a horse for days at a time, hours at a time without the horse fucking dying. How do they know where they're going? Have I already said this? I feel like I'm going insane. I think I'm having another stroke. I'm going to lose my breath. I want to kill you. This is the worst writing I've ever seen. What is this show? I don't know what's happening anymore.
We go back to the village, and it's nighttime now.
You are trying to fuck with me, aren't you?
Adar wants the hilt, and he violently stabs many of the townsfolk in order to get it.
Extreme violence. Exactly what Tolkien was going for when he wrote all this lore.
But when Bronwyn is threatened, Theo gives up the hilt.
Doesn't he know his mother is invincible?
Adar walks back outside, and it's morning again.
I
will kill you when this is all over. And the Numenorians have arrived.
Great!
They use a chain to clothesline some orcs.
You're just insulting my intelligence at this point.
The Samoan Numenorian, his helmet falls off.
Defeats the purpose of a helmet.
And Queen Muriel sends one stable sweep to turn the tide of battle. Elendil's helmet falls off.
Again, that defeats the purpose of a helmet.
And Elendil is saved by Halbrand, who also doesn't wear a helmet.
Good! I'm glad all our main characters are conveniently losing their helmets. Otherwise, how will I know who's who?
Adar takes off, but Galadriel follows in pursuit. And after about 100-yard head start, Halbrand follows.
Okay.
Galadriel whispers to her horse, because remember Arwen in the Fellowship of the Ring?
Yeah?
Then Halbrand comes from the other direction and trips Adar.
The other direction? How? When?
How? Halbrand asks Adar if he remembers him.
Ooh!
And just when Halbrand is about to impale Adar, Galadriel shouts at him and stops him.
A fully grown man, mid-lunge with murder in his eyes, simply does not stop right before he kills the target. Have you ever heard of inertia and momentum?
Eat your tongue.
Fuck you.
It's time for some advanced interrogation.
Torture! Great!
Galadriel threatens to have the orcs brought out into the sunlight if Adar does not start speaking.
That reminds me, I was so distracted with all your other bullshit that I forgot to ask. But did we not just see the orcs fighting in sunlight?
Adar says he just wants a home for his people. They are just as deserving of life as anybody else.
Well, that is a fair argument.
But Galadriel calls the orcs a mistake and says she will make it her life mission to go about Middle-earth eradicating their entire species. In fact, she says to Adar she will keep him alive just to make sure he sees that she has completed her genocide.
Whoa! Are we sure she's the good guy?
Absolutely, sir. What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. I just had an idea for a TV show where we follow Hitler as the main character. We follow his mission, you know, to kill all the Jews. I think that would be a great show. He would make a great protagonist.
Who's Hitler?
World War II. You are kidding, right?
There was a Second World War?
Oh my god.
Galadriel goes to kill Adar, but is stopped by Halbrand.
So that's twice in 5 minutes Adar has almost been stabbed through the neck, only to be stopped at the last second by someone calling out. I hate you.
Galadriel and Halbrand flirt.
Are you aware that Galadriel is married in the lore?
But Halbrand is cock-blocked by Queen Muriel, who demands the return of the king.
I see what you did there. Clever.
Bronwyn is up and walking,
Not so clever.
and she sees that Halbrand wears that sigil, and so do the townsfolk, and they rejoice in the return of their king.
Is there no documentation, no lineage, no rights to becoming the king? So you're telling me just a random dude can walk up to this village and say, I'm the king, and all the people just accept him?
Halbrand is now crowned king of the Southlands.
What even are the Southlands? One village? Game of Thrones was able to set up a better, more expansive world 10 years ago with less money. How is that possible? How is that possible? I'm losing my mind.
Theo discovers that the weapon returned by Galadriel is a fake, a decoy.
Seems to me they should have checked that when they retrieved it.
The pedo has it, and he activates the shrine.
Then what happens?
It opens a floodway, and the dam behind the watchtower starts to empty.
Where to?
Well, sir, remember the tunnels the orcs were digging?
Yes.
The water begins to run through that, all the way to this big, lonely mountain.
A large mountain. In the Southlands.
No. Yes, sir. And the water enters the mountain, spilling onto some lava, and just like that, boom!
Go on.
Within seconds, ash and smoke is spilling into the sky all over the Southlands. It destroys rock, house, people. The pyroclastic flow is so large and strong and hot it engulfs all our characters, and just like that, cut to credits.
Now that is some ballsy writing. Killing off everyone just like that.
No, sir. Everyone will be back next week.
Why, if I wasn't so overwhelmed by the stupidity that just came out of your mouth, like the fact that orcs somehow dug tunnels under half the country that was able to funnel and send water at such a speed under Mount Doom, if I wasn't so overwhelmed by the fact that a volcano that was open somehow had enough pressure inside it to explode, and not just explode like a normal volcano, but to really explode and destroy half the world, if I wasn't so overwhelmed by the fact that Ada somehow managed to know that there was a key inside of this random Southland village, a key that is activated by a shrine in another random elven watchtower, that somehow when the key activates the watchtower, it releases a door to open a dam and flow the water into the volcano to make Mordor, if I wasn't so overwhelmed by all that, well, I might have stabbed you.
Sir, you're hysterical. Shit. Fuck. I need to think of an opening before the boss gets here. Shoot! Sir, how long have you been there?
I legitimately have never left this seat.
I just need a second before we start.
Having trouble writing. That doesn't sound like you at all.
Don't you hate that you get Cheezo dust on you, sir? Nothing worse.
Oh, yes it does. Gets everywhere.
Very hard to wash off.
That's it. What is it?
We start off episode 7, and everybody's covered in ash, but it's orange, like Cheeto dust.
Did you really need to waste everyone's time the last 30 seconds setting up that joke? It's a little contrived.
You guys don't mind, right?
Who the fuck are you winking at?
Galadriel wakes up. She's mildly dizzy.
Oh, and she's not burnt, or her scalp didn't melt off, or her armor didn't melt into her flesh. No smoke inhalation, her lungs are not covered in ash. She can breathe fine, nothing.
I said she's mildly dizzy.
Yes, you did.
She sees that many people have died.
Did they burn alive?
No. It more looks like they went to sleep peacefully.
Night.
The entire landscape is gone. Ash, fire is everywhere. Every home is destroyed.
The very air they breathe is a poisonous fume. I get it. This could be such an exciting episode. Imagine all the characters fighting to get out of the ash cloud, fighting for their lives, slowly dying of suffocating, trying to find each other in the rubble, a race against time. This sounds like a most exciting episode. I can't wait to hear more.
No, I think I would rather have everybody meander around until the credits roll.
This is the penultimate episode. Do you not think something should happen?
What do I look like, a writer?
Well, yes.
Theo has survived. Fuck. And Galadriel looks at a man on fire.
And how does she save him?
She just keeps walking away.
What a hero!
Isildur saves the Samoan Númenórean, but discovers his other friend has died.
Oh no, please, not his friend. Oh no, no, not his friend.
And then Isildur is crushed by a roof. He's dead.
You have subverted my expectations yet again. Good man, you are something special. The man who cut the ring from Sauron's hand himself. Dead in the first season. Oh, I do hope he doesn't come back in the second season without explanation.
And the Harfoots are back, baby!
You underestimate just how much I hate these dirty little cunts.
Why do you hate them so much, sir?
Think about it. They leave their own kind behind to die. In fact, they've plotted to do so many times this season. They wear the same shit every day. They wear dirt in their hair. They don't bathe. They are disgusting.
That's their culture, sir.
But take the Comet Man, for example. He fell from the sky. He doesn't know who or what he is. And these dirty little cunts find him and they put him to work pushing their carts. The Harfoots deal in slavery.
It's a happy time, sir, because the Harfoots have arrived at their new settlement. But they're distraught. 2 out of all the many apple trees in the area are destroyed by a fire rock cast from Mount Doom.
Wow, those fire rocks traveled a very, 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 very long way. Oh, but it's just an apple tree. It's nothing to bloody cry over.
But they continue to pick and take the burnt fruit.
Are they retarded?
Sir, you can't say that.
Oh, forgive me. Sometimes I forget myself in my old age. Are they mentally fucked?
They recruit the wizard to come and help them save the tree. And he does. But then a stupid little girl gets in the way and almost dies.
Stupid girl.
But here's the thing. The Harfoots blame the wizard for what just happened.
But the little girl is the one that walked out there. Where are her parents? They're the ones to blame, letting her just stroll out while some magical things are happening. Typical slave owners. Treat the slave like shit, ask him to help you, and when he does, treat him like shit and whip him again.
Elrond offers a deal to the dwarves in exchange for Mithril, but he's denied.
Oh, I had totally forgotten about this plot line.
Durin says to Durin that during his reign, he will not let Durin dig deeper.
So the elves must perish.
Yes, but when Durin throws Mithril next to the decaying leaf, it regenerates.
But we already knew this. Why is this such a dramatic moment?
The Númenórean survivors are marching away. Elendil is among them.
So all our main characters survived. Great!
And Theo and Galadriel are on their own mission to regroup with the survivors.
So they walked away from the village where all the survivors would have been, traveled around in a circle only to meet up with them again as their main goal. Do you know what I mean when I say you're a fucking idiot?
Galadriel preaches to Theo to let go of hate.
The genocidal maniac said this.
Miriel gives it up that she's been blinded by the sparks earlier in the episode.
Oh no!
But she urges Elendil to keep her secret. She doesn't want others to know.
Remaining strong for her people. A wise decision.
And for the remainder of the episode, she wears a blindfold.
So no one will know she's blind. Was Elendil not guiding her, tricking others that she wasn't blind? A false facade? And now she wears a blindfold? Why? It's not like her eyeballs were cut out. Why? Why does she need a blindfold? She's blind!
Abraham Harfoot releases his slave and tells him to head east in search of the stars he's searching for.
I don't care.
Remember last week when you asked me about Galadriel's husband, Celeborn? Turns out he's dead.
Well, that's not completely world-breaking at all.
Theo thinks he's man enough to take on a group of orcs, but Galadriel has to hold him back.
Theo may be the dumbest character in the show.
Oh, I can do better than that, sir.
Oh.
Durin and Elrond hatch a plan to mine all the Mithril themselves.
You're right! That is stupider than Theo.
But naturally, they're caught.
Naturally?
The Harfoots have apples now.
7 hours of television, and this is what it amounts to. Skip? No, wait, sir.
Remember the mysterious beings?
Nope.
Well, they're back, and they burned all the Harfoots' carriages.
Yes! Excellent! Woohoo! Suffer, you little cunts!
And then we're back in the Númenórean camp.
Númenórean camp! Oh, do tell, my dear boy, when did they have time to establish this camp?
Theo comes across many burn victims.
So, the pyroclastic flow was selective in who it burned?
But alas, Bronwyn is there, and she gives her son a massive, hard embrace.
Wasn't this woman shot with 2 arrows 24 hours ago? And then hit with the full force of an exploding volcano? And then forced to walk miles out of the ash cloud into serenity? She should be dead, not embracing anybody.
Elendil cries,
Poor baby.
and the Harfoots are...
Skip!
Halbrand is breeding, stuck by an enemy lance.
I never saw an orc holding a lance. It sounds like bullshit to me.
Galadriel examines the wound from 3 feet away and decides it needs elven medicine.
Why? Why does this random wound require elvish medicine? Why this wound? Why? How can she tell that from there? Are you just trying to reference the Fellowship of the Ring again?
And just like that, Halbrand is up and walking, riding as well. They're on their way to Eregion.
I give him 20 minutes before his wound opens again and he bleeds out.
Durin takes the leaf from Gil-galad's tree and discards it in the mine of Mithril.
That leaf has had a bigger journey than some of our main characters.
And when it hits the cavern ground, it awakens a Balrog.
Oh, baby! Here we go! This fellow is about to clean house! And just like that,
The dwarf storyline for this season is over.
that's it? What even happened? We just went in circles for 7 hours only to be teased for next season?
Yes, sir. Teasing what's to come is what brings the audience back week to week.
I was always under the assumption that quality storytelling done that, but you do you.
And finally, we return to Adar, who tells his people, no, it's not the Southlands. These lands, their new home, needs a new name.
What's the name?
Mordor.
That's in the movies.
And instead of speaking it, I thought we could have a really cool title transition.
How do you mean?
Just like this.
Hey Siri, what's today's date?
It's Friday, August 20th, 2027.
So this isn't an April Fool's joke?
Just imagine, sir, an epic landscape shot. The title comes up in the corner, and then it changes in flames. That sounds badass to me.
Tell me, my dear boy, there is 1 episode to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Remind me, what did we decide to call this show?
The Rings of Power.
Can you not guess why I'm asking?
No.
Where are the Rings of Power?
Oh, shit. I just thought that was a cool title.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I can make room for it in the last episode somewhere. I'll do a rewrite this week and we'll talk next week, okay? Great! You wouldn't believe it, my grandfather died yesterday.
Oh no, I'm sorry, sir.
No, it's okay, he was a cunt.
Oh,
But I was going through his things and I found this revolver. I hope it works. I have not tested it yet.
just keep it away from me, sir.
You have nothing to worry about. I need good writers like you around.
Oh, that's so nice of you, sir.
I was kidding, you fuckhead. Now tell me about the finale of Rings of Power. And don't forget to include the Rings of Power.
I did, sir.
Good man.
We're gonna start with a cold open. The wizard is alone, wandering Middle-earth.
I bet he's thrilled to be away from his slave masters, the Harfoots.
No, sir, he's sad. He misses Frodina.
He needs to meet himself a new girl and get over it.
Exactly, sir. So he's approached by the bald, mysterious being.
Oh, the one that's constantly looking like she wants to be cool. Always modeling and such, yes?
That's the one, sir. But her and her friends bow to him and call him Sauron.
Nobody's going to fall for that misdirect, you dickhead. Everybody knows he's a wizard.
But Sauron was capable of magic too.
Let me show you some magic. Oh, would you look at that? Some alcohol. Well, spank me and call me Morgoth. Ha ha ha!
Back to the action. Galadriel and Halbrand arrive at Eregion. They reveal they've been riding without rest for 6 days.
They rode for 6 days. 6 days of hard riding without break. While he was bleeding out.
Fuck this guy. Kill him now.
Great!
Elrond questions Galadriel about how she is there. Because remember, she's meant to be back in Valinor for eternity.
And?
Well, she asks back, why are you here?
Why the fuck would she ask that? It's his duty to be wherever the king demands.
Galadriel reveals that she jumped from the ship because she didn't feel worthy of Valinor.
No, that's wrong. Her only motivation was to avenge her brother. That's it? Can you not even remember your own shit writing?
Halbrand is up and walking,
Already?
and he stumbles into Celebrimbor's workshop. You know, the brand new one that the dwarves and elves built together.
I bet it's the most impressive structure we've ever seen.
It's incredible. It's about as big as your office, sir, and it has a sunroof.
This is what united the elves and dwarves? This was the elven grand plan?
Halbrand finds the Mithril, and he asks Celebrimbor about it, who's very dismissive. He's angry because they don't have enough to make what they need. So Halbrand suggests alloying it to other metals to stretch it out.
So Celebrimbor, the greatest smith of all time, never thought of that?
And when Celebrimbor thanks Halbrand for the suggestion, Halbrand just says, consider it a gift.
Oh, I get it. Just like Anatar, the giver of gifts from the lore. So you're going to completely waste that, are you?
Kill him!
Great!
Back on Numenor, Tits McGee is sketching the dying king.
And why should I care?
But he suddenly wakes up and grabs her and tells her if the old ways aren't restored, Numenor will die. She calls out for help and no one comes.
No one comes? So Tits McGee was left alone with the king? The king? No guards posted in his quarters? No guards outside? None at all? Nothing?
And because of this, she's freely able to walk into the secret room that houses the Palantir.
And?
That's that storyline done for the season.
Fulfilling.
Gil-galad arrives at Eregion, and he's told about the idea to make one unique item that can share the light between all elves on Middle-earth.
Setting up the rings of power, are we? Good. It only took 7.5 hours.
No, sir, they decide to make maybe a scepter or a sword, but then decide to make a crown.
Why?
Because crowns are circular. So the light in it will bounce, refract, and reflect off each other endlessly. The power will be boundless, as Celebrimbor states.
No, that's stupid.
I thought you'd like that, sir.
No, that's not what I said.
And Celebrimbor almost comes. He's so ecstatic, he tells them about how Halbrand was the key that opened the dam.
I get it.
And this is not a power of the flesh, but over flesh.
Yes, I get it. What Adar said.
That this is a power of the unseen world.
Stop! Tell me how this is tapping into the unseen world. What even is the unseen world? You have not explained that. How does Celebrimbor know what he's going to make is going to tap into the unseen world? He has not tested it. He doesn't know. They have not used Mithril before. It is a new ore. What are you talking about? Are you telling me my ex-wife has the power of the unseen world on her ring finger? You are a fucking idiot. You have all this lore, all of it, and you're wasting it. Why? Why are you wasting it?
Because this is just as exciting, sir. Because now Galadriel suspects Halbrand. So she asks a fellow elf for records on the Southlands, but he says he's gonna have to search the catacombs for more details.
Catacombs? Why are there catacombs? Elves don't die! Why are there catacombs?
The Harfoots are to the rescue. And they're not taking anything seriously. It's just so much fun.
It's like you watched The Fellowship of the Ring and saw the Hobbits' introduction as plucky farmers, and you said, yes, that's their only characteristic. They have to be funny and plucky at all times, even in life or death situations. This is not good characterization. Not at all.
They spring their rescue, but Abraham Harfoot is stabbed in the belly.
Fuck yeah!
Now it's time for a wizard versus witch battle. He uses a force push, and then they all go flying off into the distance, all except that one that can't stop posing.
Oh no! And then?
The wizard gets thrown around.
Just like Gandalf in The Fellowship of the Ring.
Wait, grabs the witch's staff, hands it to him, and says, "You're good."
Oh, baby!
So he rises and declares he's good.
That's cringe.
And he banishes them. They turn into waifs before completely disappearing.
What do you mean they turned into wraiths? Who are they?
You think I want to explain that? No!
You lazy cunt!
Abraham Harfoot dies.
Phenomenal!
Muriel is trying to memorize the steps on her ship.
Why?
She's blind, sir.
Yes, but she's never going to be on this ship again. Sit your lazy ass down and wait till you get back to Numenor.
Elendil comes in to help her. He tells her he has her, but she replies, "But who has you?"
There! That is an example of your overbloated, poetic bullshit writing. Why can't characters, when they're alone, just talk like normal people?
They arrive at Numenor, and Muriel wears her blindfold.
So stupid!
And we see black flags. The king, her father, is dead.
Oh no, he was such a great character. No, not the king!
Numenor is done for the season.
That's it? You introduced the greatest civilization of men of all time. You introduce them, then they meander around as bigoted fools, then they go to war, lose, and come back, and that's it?
It's called setup, sir. Next season will be better, I promise. But this is it, sir. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. We reveal that Halbrand is Sauron.
Do you think I'm 5 years old? Everybody knows he's Sauron. The fact that you have dragged out this mystery so long is going to frustrate everybody.
Galadriel confronts him, but he takes her into a dream world where he tries to convince her to join his cause.
Girls do love a bad boy.
Sauron poses as her brother.
What are you doing, elf bro?
But she resists and resists and resists until they finally start screaming at each other. Then she's cast back into reality where Elrond picks her up.
Where did Halbrand go?
I will answer that soon.
But where did Halbrand go? Do you know how it worked in the lore? Sauron and Celebrimbor made all the rings of power before Celebrimbor made 3 elven rings on his own. It's going to be impossible to do this now if Halbrand has already been caught out.
Tolfdir had no idea what he was doing. This is my show. We're gonna do our own thing.
How so?
The elven rings that were created last, we're gonna create them first.
So you mean to tell me that Halbrand, Sauron, gave all his wisdom and advice to Celebrimbor, the elves, his mortal enemies, only just to fuck off without gaining anything for himself?
Yes.
He doesn't deserve to live. Kill him.
Great!
So before the rings are made, Galadriel is gonna tell everybody Halbrand is gone.
She doesn't reveal him to be Sauron? Why not?
She's still considering a late night Mordor booty call.
Oh,
The rings get made.
that's it? That's all you've got for me? A couple of minutes? Forged like a regular old sword?
But they need gold and silver from Valinor. So they melt Galadriel's dagger down into one pot.
The entire dagger? They didn't separate the materials they needed, they just smelted the whole thing? I'm starting to get mad.
We go back to the Harfoots,
Fuck!
and the wizard is speaking very good English now.
How?
I don't know. But he's leaving for the east, and Frodina is gonna go with him. So we get a 10-minute extended sequence of goodbyes around the Harfoots and Frodina. In fact, this goodbye sequence is longer than the creation of the Rings of Power.
The fans will be ejaculating in their seats. You are doing a true service to this world.
But before they go, sir, the wizard tells Frodina, when in doubt, follow your nose.
No, you didn't just quote Gandalf in Fellowship of the Ring. What is your hard-on for that movie? Create your own iconic moments and lines. These iconic moments and lines from all the franchises we love are not iconic until someone makes it for themselves. Make your own shit and maybe it will be iconic. Stop relying on all the old stuff. But this is Gandalf, isn't it?
Yep.
Somehow this isn't the most insulting thing you've done.
So the rings are done. And we get a nice view of them before panning out to reveal Halbrand is in Mordor. Over his kingdom. He's looking at his future. And we cut to credits. I know you love it, sir!
So Halbrand walked from Eregion to Mordor. But why would anyone care? He didn't create Mordor. He had nothing to do with it. Adar did that. Adar is the villain we should be following, fearing. Who the fuck is Halbrand? Fuck him!
Because, sir, he's Sauron.
But he did nothing. His motivations were all over the place. Why was he on that raft to begin with?
It's up to audience interpretation.
Why did he want to stay on Numenor and live a simple life? Did he have a change of heart?
It's up to audience interpretation.
And why did he lie about the Southlands? Did he want to be their king? Or did he have something more sinister planned?
Because, sir, it's up to audience
Well, that's how you write a good ending.